Hello, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Hannah Fernandez, and you're watching SCORE TV. SCORE is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping small businesses across the United States get off the ground, grow, and achieve their goals through education and mentorship. So whether you are a new entrepreneur or you've been in business for a long time, our SCORE mentors could offer you free business mentoring and other resources for the life of your business. To connect with us, check out our website at chicago.score.org. You can email us at info@scorechicago.org or call us at 312-353-7724. Today we're going to talk about how Summer Core financial resources could help small business growth and success. With me today is Manny Flores, President and CEO of Summer Core. Manny, thank you so much for being here today.
Hannah, thank you so much for having us. I'm super excited to be on your program.
Likewise, I'm so glad we made this happen finally.
Yes.
And so, Manny, for almost all businesses, access to capital when they need it is essential for growth and success. So in brief, describe Summer Core and your mission.
So as you know, Summer Core is authorized by the Small Business Administration, like you. But our mission's a bit different. We are in the lending business. So the Small Business Administration has a number of loans that they make available. And so what they have asked us to do, in a sense, and permitted us to do, is to reach out to small businesses, to work with banks, credit unions, in providing a particular type of loan that's called the 504 loan for companies who are essentially growing. Companies who need to buy more space or who need to buy equipment, but who need access to capital in order to do that.
And I'm so glad you specify that, because sometimes people will think that 504 is just for real estate. So they could use it for other purposes as well.
You know, it's the 504 program is it still flies under the radar, so to speak, and so that's one of the things that we're trying to do, and I'm grateful for you to having us on the program. The 504 program has been around for decades. But I'm surprised that a lot of small businesses are not aware of it. And I just want to put another plug in for it, because really what it does is it helps a business take advantage of long-term financing. You have 20 or 25-year terms for the purchase of real estate or equipment, but it has to be for their business. It has to be their business operating in that building, that facility, or the equipment that they're using, their financing, has to be for that particular business.
And what a helpful resource.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm proud of the fact we were just talking, we just celebrated our 27th birthday. So,
wow, congratulations.
Thank you so much. And I want to say congratulations to obviously our team, but also congratulations to the businesses and our lending partners who make this possible. Our relationship in the lending space is very unique, because the 504 program is really a public-private partnership where you have SBA money available that's being deployed, but it's done so in coordination with private lenders. So the way that the program works is you'll have a project. 40% of that project will be financed by the SBA 504, and 50% will be financed by a private lender, where at the minimum there has to be a 10% equity injection made by the business operator, or the borrower rather, who's taking out the 504 loan. So it's a really unique partnership combination there, and working in tandem to help provide access to capital with an eye toward building stronger communities.
So there's skin in the game for the business owner, but that really helps in terms of everybody's vested for that small business to go ahead and succeed.
That's right, including the SBA.
Yes.
And it's not just about the financing. I want to also, frankly, touch on how it really is looked upon as more of a comprehensive approach, where the SBA has organizations like Summer Core who are authorized to provide the lending, and then working in tandem with organizations like SCORE, who has a very broad network of professionals who provide coaching. And then there's even a broader ecosystem where we collaborate with other with CDFIs, like CNI, Action, and others in the city of Chicago. CCLF can't leave out CCLF out of that conversation. The Chicago Community Loan Fund, and then other organizations that also provide coaching. So it really is a neat, comprehensive. It's a broader ecosystem, and we all play a role in it.
Yes, and your mission is different from other microfinancers. How do you think SummerCore's mission to help businesses grow and also positively impact the owners, employees, communities has helped to improve Chicago?
Well, I would say again, it's about focusing on what is it that you do best as an organization. For us, it is SBA lending. But SBA lending is not going to help everybody, right? So how do we collaborate with some of the partners that I just referenced? And then making sure that we are working in tandem, where there is a complementary approach with regards to the various capital sources or resources rather that are available, in deploying them and making sure that in the end of the day we're providing the capital needs of the business. Every business is going to be different.
Sure.
Every business is going to be, you may have a startup, you may have a growing business, you may have a more mature middle market, or even a larger enterprise. And we have different types of capital sources available, as well as organizations that could provide the mentoring, the coaching. Again, I find though where we are all collaborating is where we're going to get the greatest impact in helping build and grow this ecosystem. And we need to, because as you know, we have a lot of communities in our city, in the state, that are facing challenges, where we still need to see more jobs, where we still need to see more business activity. We have a mission and a responsibility to contribute, and it's a real privilege to be part of that process and opportunity.
Agreed. And why is it important to provide support, for example, in the form of microloans to small businesses specifically?
Well, as I just said, I mean, if you're a startup and or a small business, it is going to be hard to access a loan conventionally. Now, I have to commend, there are a number of banks in our community that do provide even startups some financing, but that is the exception. So we need to make sure that we have a robust system in place, a number of different options, so that we are offering a greater menu of choices and opportunities for our vibrant young companies. And as you know, the city of Chicago is becoming known as a destination for the startup ecosystem. I mean, whether it is women-owned businesses, there have been studies that have been published recently about women-owned businesses growing. In fact, I posted one recently on my LinkedIn profile, so I'm not sure if you follow, SummerCore on LinkedIn.
I do.
But I recommend if you're watching and you don't, that you do. But we have incubators that are world renowned now for the startup. But again, those startups need access to capital to continue to grow. They face particular challenges oftentimes where, they're just trying to build up momentum, their business, their income, their revenue streams, and sometimes their revenue streams don't match up with expenses. So one thing that micro lending offers is that opportunity to be able to bridge those needs. And then also you could use micro lending in a strategic way to help grow your business in a sustainable way.
So you touched upon it a little bit. So why Chicago? Can you tell us more? Can you expand on why Chicago is a great city to support small businesses?
We have a lot of things going for us. I recognize that, obviously the challenges are front and center, oftentimes written about in the newspapers or reported on the media, on TV. But the reality is, if you take a look at all of the good things that we have in our city, we have world-class universities.
Yes.
We have amazing chambers of commerce, not only larger ones, but we also have local ones who are very passionate about their local neighborhoods and communities. We also have a number of accelerators, not just 1871, but other accelerators throughout the city and even in the near suburbs. We also have an amazing history and tradition. This city was founded by immigrants, was founded from folks from other parts of the country who came here, whether it was our African American foreparents who traveled from the South during the Great Migration North, or some folks from out east who said, "Hey, I'm going to venture out west and I'm going to take advantage of what's going on in Illinois and plant my flagpole." We have that history, and it's part of our DNA. So you take advantage of the assets, the community assets, the people, amazing people, right? We're a city known as an immigration destination, and we have to fight to keep that, because that's what adds that fuel, right? How many immigrants own their own businesses? They come here with nothing, and you hear about those amazing stories. And I'd like to believe that the fact that we also have a vibrant community banking system. A lot of people don't know this, but we have the most state chartered banks in the nation. We also have the most state chartered credit unions in the nation.
That's great
and,
to know.
And that adds to access to capital. And then we have a great network of nonprofit lenders. And I just mentioned some, and obviously I'm going to mention SummerCore again. We're part of that ecosystem, and you add all those things together, you weave them, and you have an amazing canvas where we could really build. But I will tell you again, I want to reinforce this, that we also have a responsibility to work to our best, because we still have too many communities here nearby where disinvestment is present. Every day you see it in the violence, you see it in the crime, you see it in the in some of the negative activity. But how can we change that course? I fundamentally believe that one of the ways of doing that is by providing opportunity.
Yes.
People want to work. People want to feel proud of their job. They have dreams, aspirations. And it shouldn't matter what color of skin, what the color of your skin is. It doesn't matter whether you're a man or woman, or however you may identify yourself. The bottom line is, we need to have inclusive communities, and we need to provide access. And the way that we're going to overcome some of these systemic entrenched challenges is by creating opportunity. I'm hopeful that what we can do, though, is to better coordinate our efforts, to be more strategic and collaborative, so that we can really achieve a transformational impact as we reinvest and maintain that investment, local native investment. It's good to have some outside investment, but it can't be at the cost of the people and the businesses who have been there for a long time. We have to lift all boats, and we have a responsibility to do that. And I think we can do it. It's going to be hard work, but we certainly have all the tools in place to make it happen.
Absolutely, and I'm with you. There's such a great need to provide a lot of the small businesses in our communities some hope. And so, because when you do that, not only are you going to benefit those small businesses, but really as a whole, our communities will grow, will thrive, will prosper, and we can do it together.
Absolutely.
I have a lot of hope as well.
That's great.
And so in your, going out to the communities and helping small business owners, what has been your biggest challenge thus far?
So it really is just making sure that organizations like ours is recognized as a resource. We're a nonprofit organization. We don't have the marketing or advertising dollars that some of SummerCore's private sector partners may have, but we have to do everything we can to get the word out, and to also let people know that SummerCore is SBA lending. One of the things that we haven't talked about that I'm also very proud of is that SummerCore administers the Small Business Improvement Fund and the Neighborhood Opportunity Fund for the City of Chicago. And a lot of people know us for that, and obviously we're very proud, and we wear that with a lot of enthusiasm and pride. But we want to make sure that people realize that we're also a lender, and that we are lending on behalf of the Small Business Administration. And essentially what that means is we're actually lending on their own behalf. I always remind people the Small Business Administration answers to us, the taxpayers, the citizens of this great country. And the 504 program in particular is a self-funded program, but nonetheless, I look at those monies as belonging to all of us as taxpayers. And in a sense, really what we're doing by taking advantage of the 504 program is we're investing in ourselves. We're investing in our own communities. We're investing in growing businesses and growing jobs locally.
And that's exactly the same way with SCORE. Because every single year, Congress gives us $11 million. So it's free for small businesses, but really, like you said, it's your taxpayers' money.
That's
So
right.
why not take advantage of it?
That's right. I tell everybody there's no such thing as free money. It's our money though, and we should be using it to help our communities.
Absolutely. And Maddie, why do you think it's important to expand your reach to more businesses owned by women, veterans, and minorities?
Well, let's start with minorities. I mean, we know that historically, people of color have just had a difficult time, and they continue to have a difficult time, frankly, in accessing conventional credit. And so, we are a mission-based lender. We are lending on behalf of the people. And so we have a responsibility to make sure that we, as I just said, we're going to be a solution to the problem. In terms of women, it's exciting to see all of these women-owned businesses grow. But I will tell you, it wasn't long ago. It wasn't long ago where a woman borrower needed to have her husband's signature in order to access credit.
That's
And it wasn't that long ago. It is unbelievable. It was unbelievable that we were requiring that. Thankfully, that is no longer the case. But I raise that just as an example of just some of another historical barrier. And so, look, the reality is, we are seeing more women owning their own businesses, also in the banking and lending profession. So we need to make sure that we do everything we can to also provide access to these loans in the women business community. Veterans, these are folks, if you take a look at now, unfortunately, the number of years that our men and women in uniform have had to be deployed, have had to fight serving our country in the Middle East. One of the longest conflict where we have served in our history. Many of these folks are coming back home, and we need to do everything we can to help bring them back into civilian society. And many of these men and women have not only amazing leadership qualities, but have also learned some amazing skills and have something to contribute. So I think we have a duty and a responsibility to also work with our veteran community to essentially work with them and on a certain level in a way really to take advantage and to use their skills and experiences and leadership as part of the solution in growing our economy, growing more businesses, and growing more jobs.
Yes, and there's nothing like the military to discipline you in terms of leadership and work ethic.
That's right.
And so, what are the benefits for small businesses to join a community of other local entrepreneurs to collaborate?
So what we've seen in our experience is, obviously, it's very challenging being an entrepreneur. You're tugged in a whole bunch of different directions, especially if you're a smaller enterprise. We see that there is a real benefit from being part of a chamber or a trade association or an organization like SCORE, where you can go and call someone who's experienced it, who's dealt with it perhaps, who has subject matter expertise in being able to just bounce ideas off of each other, and really with an eye toward, and also just frankly, just for morale, for just support in dealing with the stresses and the challenges of running a business. We are also ourselves part of this broader ecosystem. We do what we can to join chambers of commerce, to join trade associations, all throughout the state of Illinois. I want to reinforce that, while we're headquartered in Chicago, our lending authority and our mission is to cover the entire state. So whether you're in Chicago or Rockford or Northern Illinois or Central or Southern Illinois, you can count on Summer Corps as a resource. But as you can imagine, the state's very large. Sure. So it's important for us also to connect ourselves to the local organizations who are in the trenches. And we have many. I think, I want to also give the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity and the Small Business Development Councils a plug, and also say thank you for the good work that they're doing in working with organizations like ours in a spirit of collaboration to really help grow our businesses.
So to those who are listening to us and watching, there's no reason why they should be alone in this journey. There's so many organizations like you mentioned.
That's right.
Summer Corps, SCORE, there's the city of Chicago, there's the state of Illinois that could go ahead and help out. So really show up, put yourself out there and connect with other entrepreneurs and other organizations, because you never know where one relationship can take you that could be a significant difference in your business.
Absolutely. And, the networking is so important. Everyone, if you're in business, one of the things that you will learn quickly is that networking is a way to grow your business. You have to sell, right?
Yes.
So you have to make revenue. The business has to make revenue. So how do you do that? You want to get the word out. Obviously, you're going to be thinking about a marketing and advertising strategy. But at the end of the day, you have to be your best ambassador, and you have to be the person who could best describe, what you do. And how you help, and why your product or company or services is the best one there to be a value add partner.
Absolutely, because no one's going to be more passionate about your business than you are.
Absolutely.
And so, Maddie, let's go back to financing. What are the 3 most important things that a small business and entrepreneur needs to know before asking for a loan?
We always say is, first thing that you should always do is ask why you're taking the loan, why it is that you think you need to borrow money. Because borrowing money obviously is a serious responsibility, and a lot of things come with that. There is accountability, and the last thing you want to do is borrow something that you can't pay back.
Exactly.
There are consequences. So really understand what the use of funds are going to be, how it fits in, how the financing fits into your strategic plan, how it will help your company grow, and that it's okay sometimes to say, you know what, I'm going to pass on a loan at this time. Or that maybe instead of where you thought you needed $1 million, maybe you're not ready for $1 million, and that's okay. Maybe you start out with even a $10,000, $50,000, or a $100,000 loan. Just because you're going with a more modest loan is not a reflection on you or your business in terms of success or ability or capacity. You will grow, but you want to grow smartly. I would also say you should always know who it is that you're going to be borrowing or thinking of borrowing from. You have for-profit lenders and you have nonprofit lenders. You also have banks, credit unions, and then you also have non-depository lenders. You have online lenders. Knowing that is very important because it affects your interest rate. And then lastly, knowing your credit history and credit report is critical, because that's going to be one of the primary factors looked on whether or not whether the lender is going to give you that particular loan.
And you really made a great point, because sometimes if a business gets even declined, it's not the worst thing in the world, because that's actually going to give you feedback, because the whole purpose of the SBA and Summer Corps and all these other lenders is to set small business owners up for success. So if they don't have the capacity to repay the loan, then we shouldn't go ahead and approve them, because again, it's about setting up small businesses for success. But there's a lot of technical assistance out there that are available to make sure that next time you apply, you know exactly what you need to do to make sure they increase your likelihood of getting funded.
That's what you make a very good point. I would just reinforce to your point is to do research also on just how it is that you could take, who are these go-to resources to assist you in best positioning yourself and your business for the right loan. Don't just immediately jump into something where you have not done the research, because that can cause you damage. And we've seen it. We've seen businesses stretch, take on a more expensive loan, believing that they need that loan, and all of a sudden what you start seeing then is that business getting trapped in a debt cycle and they have a very hard time getting out of it. And instead of investing in their business, they're ending up having to just focus on repaying a loan that essentially they're finding that they can't afford anymore.
That's an excellent point. So, Mandy, for those businesses that are interested, what is the best way to contact and connect with SummerCore?
So I would say, reach out through our website. It's www.summercore.com, and that's spelled SOMERCOR.com. Summercore.com. We're here to help you.
Manny, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it, and for all you do for small businesses.
Thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you. And to those of you that are watching, if you'd like to volunteer and you want to give back, we're always looking for SCORE volunteers. So connect with us. Our website is chicago.score.org. My name is Hannah Fernandez. Thank you so much again for watching, and we'll see you again next time on SCORE TV.